If you guys need any cards, packs, sleeves, anything of that nature, shop on TCG Player using my affiliate link in the description. What's good, YouTube? You may recall that I did a video that was like Edison format versus GOAT format. I figured I might do a little sequel here. People keep asking me to do Tengu format related content, so I figured this might be a good avenue to do that. So instead of Edison versus GOAT, we're going to have Edison versus Tengu plant, which is probably a format a bit more similar in style to Edison format, I guess. So I might make this into a whole series. I haven't really decided yet. We'll probably have to do, if I did do that, we'd probably do like sequels with multiple matchups from the same format, because obviously there aren't a whole lot of formats out there. Also, people were complaining on the GOAT format video that I used a warrior deck, just because it's one of those popular decks in GOAT, but it's like there to counter the GOAT meta or whatever. And I mean, first of all, the warrior deck did better than the Chaos Turbo deck in that video, so the argument seems strange to me. Also, like, every meta is going to have meta contextual cards and stuff in their builds, so it seems a little bit ridiculous. Like, am I just supposed to take all the knocks out of the GOAT main decks when we're doing this matchup because it's bad in Edison to main deck knock, or, you know, vice versa with bottomless trap hole? So I don't really... If we take that argument to the logical conclusion, the series just becomes impractical to do, I think. But this week we're talking about Tengu Plant versus Edison. We've got two matchups, same as in the last video. First one here is Hero Beat versus Chaos Agents, which you should probably be able to tell. Of course, Tengu Plant format is a format that is probably higher power level than Edison format. I think, unlike the GOAT versus Edison, I do not think Edison is favored in this one whatsoever. There's some interesting things, like the Thunder Kings and the maybe Max C's and stuff that people play are not going to be very good against Edison decks, probably. But Tengu format has like Tour Guide and Duality and Solemn Warning, and those cards are just nuts. And then like Veiler's pretty good too. And like, this opening that Chaos Agents can do is just absolutely insane compared to most opening turns in Edison format, where they just go into like the gotchi, and it pumps up their whole field, and it's this annoying thing that you can't out. So going to try to go for a Diva play here, but the Hero Beat deck going to get hit with the Effect Veiler, which is definitely a pretty solid card, I think, against Edison decks. Very good against like Caius the Shadow Monarch as well. MST being used blind here, I guess just want to like make an aggressive play. Also, yeah, they have more Typhoons in Tengu format, which is pretty crazy too. They have like Reborn and BLS. So I definitely lean heavily towards thinking that Tengu Plant should just be a higher power level format. And, well, we'll see from the replays, but it's not looking too good for Hero Beat here, getting beat down with all these gotchi buffed monsters. Man, the turn one play of just Agent of Creation Venus into gotchi is just so devastating for an Edison format deck to deal with, and you don't even have any answers in the form of like Effect Veiler, which just isn't even out, so you just kind of have to eat it. And now Christia going to come down, and this is just looking really bad for Hero Beat. It's just like too slow to keep up with this crazy turn one opening from the Agent deck. So I'm going to set some cards, but I think the writing is pretty much on the wall here. Going -1 every turn, even if we're not taking damage, and now a Venus has been summoned, an Alias being summoned. Hero Blast will probably get flipped at some point here, but I don't think it's going to really do enough. They need an out to the Christia and the Catastor, really. I don't know how it's... I don't even know what Hero Beat could draw at this point. Just like too far behind, just on turn 2 already down bad, so going to be going to the next game. Here, okay, Hero Beat is opening Dust Shoot Solemn, so I think they have a solid chance. The opponent's hand is not fantastic. They have like one good normal summon, but the Dust Shoot will take care of that, and then the Solemn will also be there backing it up. So pretty strong. Dust Shoot going to be used. Shuffle that back. The Typhoon's both used immediately. Probably should have just done that in main phase. I'm not sure it matters tremendously here, but maybe if there had been a set Typhoon. So now we know there's a Torrential set. We can't play into it. So we're just going to poke with Stratos and wait for the Agent player to draw a monster, which they are not doing. So we're going to poke with Stratos and poke with Stratos and poke with Stratos. Use the E-Call just to thin our deck. Finally, they find a monster. I think going to go for the Master Hyperion summon. Yes, because this can summon itself by banishing an agent from the hand, field, or graveyard. Hyperion's another crazy card. Oh man, this is just a very, very powerful boss monster. I think, honestly though, it is not as powerful as Christia is. So, maybe, yeah, you could argue, the Fairy deck's definitely way better in Tengu format. Probably, it's like a tier 1 deck for sure. I'm gonna summon the Alias, have to warning, because dead to honest if they have it. Or, you know, pretty much dead to honest. Christia going to be drawn off the top. Unfortunately, that's not live. Going to set. Going to Judgment the Alias. Oh, I guess trying to keep this off the field for, like, Gem Spark. Okay, I can kind of see that. Going to go for a game with the normal summon effect Veiler, which eats a Bottomless. And now there's no way to stop the Deep Sea Diva play. So going to Torrential, I guess just hoping to draw something here. Junk Synchron, actually not going to do it though because there's no Shine Ball in the graveyard. So maybe should have just set the Junk Synchron, gone for the Sork, but this was going to be a tough one on 300 life points for the agent player either way. They just needed to draw a monster a little sooner actually there. And then game 3 we're going to see them open Venus again, and it's just like, man, Exceed monsters, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Just turn 1 Gotchi, boom, again. That's rough. So Deep Prison compulsory, going to answer both of these. I guess trying to ram to drop the Trag, but just going to get compulsed. Go for a Diva, no Veiler. Even if there was a Veiler, could still make a level 5. There's a Trag, so just going to summon the Android, because the Honest Hand, set 2, pass. End-phase Typhoon, is it going to hit the Mirror Force? Doesn't really matter because there's a Heavy Storm, but it is going to hit the Mirror Force. The Storm is going to go down. We're going to see, okay, pitch the Junk Synchron to steal. The Gilman, summon the Agent, Synchro 8, oh no, and then drop Christia again. Man, that's rough. They even managed to play through the turn 1 Gotchi, but they're just getting owned by Christia again. That is rough. That is rough. And this one looking to be pretty much over. I think Chaos Agent's kind of running away with this match pretty convincingly. Man, it's just so powerful. You know, it occurs to me I could have done Tengu format Hero Beat versus Edison format Hero Beat, but that just seems really unfair. That just seems strictly unfair because they're just a better version of the same deck, so I decided to do this matchup again. Hero Beat's probably one of the best decks in Tengu format as well, though, so we could maybe revisit that for a different matchup. So, yeah, unfortunately for the Edison format deck, the Tengu format deck pretty much going to stomp this one. Going on to the other match, we have Fairies versus just regular Tengu Plant, I guess. I think Tengu Plant's probably one of the most underrated decks in Tengu Plant, as weird as that sounds. A lot of people have an attitude of this deck, or it's just like, oh, this was some suboptimal relic from the past. And it's hard to know, really, because there hasn't been a lot of optimization of Tengu format. Not a lot of people play it. But I'd say it's still within the meta that exists today. Tengu is still like a tier 1 deck in Tengu. I know it sounds really counterintuitive, but I think it's true. I'm just gonna go for the Honest here over that. I guess prefer to have the Book of Moon. I'm not sure that's right. The Book of Moon interrupts like the synchro plays and stuff. So they're just gonna set rather than hitting into my stuff. We set Decree. They summon Tengu. Tengu's a card that is very strong in Tengu format. I know, again, very, very unexpected, but Tengu is pretty good in Tengu format. This card just, like, there's nothing really like it in Edison, or it just, like, floats so much for free. It just trades positively into so many things, like Raikou, like Deep Prison, like Bottomless. All those cards just completely worthless against Reborn Tengu. You just have to, like, beat over it 3 times. That's the only way you're not just going neg into this card, so Tengu, very good. Imagine if this thing was bigger. Imagine if it was 18. That would be so nuts. Anyway, speaking of 18 monsters, we have the Dimalk hitting into the Tengu. The Tengu going to get another Tengu, and now we're going to hit over the Gore's token. So that is the final Tengu. It's going to get banished by the DD Warrior Lady. Oh, no, wait. It's not the final Tengu. There's one more Tengu. Okay. Well, that one's going to hit over the Dimalk. And I think we get back the Raikou. Yeah, because we have both Chaos monsters in our hand with no Dark engrave. Kind of unlucky actually drawing both of the Chaos monsters. The whole point of playing 2 is that you don't want to draw them both, but as opposed to playing 3. Well, we can't play 3. There aren't 3 in Edison format, but in Tengu format they could play 3. And in GOAT. So here they hit him with the Goras, and I think I actually hit the Tengu, figuring we just gotta hope this Decree goes through. I guess there are like multiple Typhoons to worry about that might just eat my Decree though, so a bit of a risky play, and we don't even hit a Dark Monster, which sucks so bad. We gotta go for the Brain Kai, so it's the only play they have, but they have the Book of Moon to blank that as well, which sucks because that's a one-off in Tengu format. So they do summon the Thunder King, we go for the Torrential, they just reborn the Thunder King, and yeah, we're just dead here. We are just dead. We don't have enough to stop this. So yeah, pretty painful game 1 L there. I feel like that game would have been playable if we just drawn a little bit better, but we had some rough breaks, and we weren't able to do it. Game 2 looking very solid. The Dust Shoot opening, just still insanely strong against the Tengu format decks. Here I would have gotten owned by Effect Veiler, just like absolutely devastated. But fortunately for me, they didn't have it. So yeah, they go 1 for 1, just pass, we hit over, and it's looking really good for us now. They just don't have the cards. And we Sangan Ram, get Tragodia, get the Sangan Search, hit over. They have this BLS that's just been dead the whole game, and I don't think it ever gets live. They've got the Tour Guide into the Tour Guide overlay for Leviair. Just going to try to get that Cyber Valley install, I guess. I decide this is worth it to Orange Light, I guess. It's technically a neg. Man, the Tour Guide is just so good. I believe I mentioned this card before you, but yeah, it's crazy. Just like summon Sangan from your deck. And then also the Exceeds, very good. The Orange Light is going to put the stop to that. I feel like we're up enough cards to take that kind of trade and just try to end the game faster. Here I could have dropped Sorkin 1, but I just forgot, so I apologize for that. It's not really going to matter, of course, because we're just going to make Brio Christia, and it doesn't matter if they maxi or whatever, they're just dead. It's Brio Christia, they're on like 1200 life, so RIP. Going to game 3, so actually this match has almost been semi-winnable. Game 1 was just like slightly unfortunate. I don't know. Maybe game 1 was tough either way. I'm not sure, but game 1 definitely was like semi-close to being winnable. Game 2 we actually did win with the Fairy deck. Game 3 I think we just get owned by this Dust Shoot though. Yeah, putting back the Fader really messes it up there because it takes away our piece of defense and our Allure is just dead. So I think we just have to go start hitting over Tengus. Maybe I should have preemptively flipped Decree. That's another thing you got to think about is because of the Solemn Warnings. So there's going to Foolish. Oh, wait, they Trish me here, right? Maybe I should have held that Dim Alch in my hand. But it's weird because you really want to get rid of the Tengus. I'm not sure. If we hadn't gotten Dust Shooted, we probably could have just Allured and then, like, done a play and had everything be good. But now we get Trished, and we're down bad because Trish is a card that exists in Tengu format. It is rough. I super, like, telegraphed that I have Gorz with that Heavy Storm. So the opponent's definitely going to play around it, unfortunately, for me. They could have gone Librarian Formula, but I guess they decide to keep the Thunder King and just preserve their Revive cards here. I'm not sure if there was like a path to game for them there. I don't think there was a way to win through Gord. Maybe there was, actually. There probably was. They probably just like missed game playing too conservatively there. But it's not going to matter. We can't do anything. We're just dead next turn. So the Tengu plant deck going to take it over the Fairy deck as well. Convincing 2-0 victory for the Tengu format decks. Kind of just seems like they're better, you know. They got all these crazy cards. They've got Reborn off the ban list. They've got BLS off the ban list. They have Solemn Warning released. It's just too much. It's just too much. So Edison format going to take a fat L. Clearly being the more low power, but also more balanced format in my opinion. I don't know. It depends. It depends what you think about that. But yeah, that's been the video. Let me know what you thought of the matchups, and I'll see you next time. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Furthermore, if you enjoy my content, you should think about becoming a channel member. You get access to tons of bonus content, and it's a great way to help support the channel.